Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I'm your host. I am so happy to be here. It is the 16th of February at about 11 a.m. Pacific time. If you are listening live, welcome. If you're listening to an archive or a replay, I want to welcome you also. As always, I am live streaming this event from my Facebook page and my YouTube channel. So you can find that on Facebook or YouTube under Katie Weaver, Domestic Mystic, if you'd rather watch than listen. I am also over in our chat room, and you can find the chat by heading over to 12radio.com, clicking on the chat button, and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. And Scott is our producer. He's standing by, and he will gladly let you in the room if you'd like to come in and chat with us. I have shared the live stream into the chat room as well, if you'd like to see it there. And so in the chat, you'll see my banner at the top of the page. That's where people are chatting and supporting each other and asking questions and things like that. I will be keeping an eye on that chat. However, my software helps me to keep an eye on both live stream chats as well. So if you're in one of the live streams, I will see you chatting as well and be able to rub shoulders with you also and answer questions there. So any way you slice it, I should be able to see your comments and interact with you. So that's what's going on. That's a mouthful. It's a big mouthful but it's all housekeeping that has to be done at the beginning of every show, which is fine. It is what it is, right? So I hope that you guys are well. I hope that you guys are warm. I know that I read yesterday that 43 states are currently affected by this snow apocalypse that we are having. It's affected us, but not so much, and we're used to it. We should be getting snow. It's winter, so it hasn't been terrible here. We did yesterday driving home from buying groceries on the highway. We saw 6 accidents, and finally got off the highway and drove on the back roads because people weren't driving on that road like it was, what it is. So we decided to get the hell out. But at any rate, yeah, not good. But I know that some of you guys have it much, much worse. I'm hearing things out of Texas that are scaring the hell out of me. So I really hope that you guys are staying safe and you're staying okay. And we're actually going to do a healing circle today for anyone that's suffering right now, because as we know, COVID is far from over. And lots of people are still suffering because of COVID on lots of fronts, be it, physically, in grief, in places of financial uncertainty, still big lack of jobs, all of the things, right? The loneliness, all of the gifts that COVID has given, as well as just this natural disaster that's hitting the US right now is really, really serious. And I was reading today and hearing some people I follow on TikTok talking about how in Texas, how many homes have frozen now to the point that their pipes have burst. And that's a huge crisis in a house. And they don't have water. If they do have water, a lot of them are under boil orders because their water sanitation plants have failed. They're unable to water their livestock. One girl that I follow has 50 head of livestock, and she has a little hobby farm and has no way to water them currently. Also, their water's being rationed in her town. It's just the list goes on and on. A lot of elderly people that can't leave their houses, don't have water, don't have electricity, don't have heat, and it's close to zero right now. It's been below zero. That scares me a lot. And many people who don't have access to medical care, who don't have the oxygen that they need to sustain themselves, it is a huge crisis. And I know it's not just Texas. Other states have been hit really hard as well. Texas comes up because there's so many people there. It's so vast, as well as they don't ever get this kind of weather. They're in no way prepared for this. And their homes aren't built for this. And it's just, it's pretty scary. It really is. So anyway, that's where my heart is at today. And it frightens me greatly. And it really hurts my heart to think about vulnerable people in homes where they are unable right now to access the things they need to stay alive. That's really scary and sad. We need to stay very aware. We need to continue to, of course, lean on our lawmakers like it does a damn bit of good, but we're going to do it to take care of the people in this country that are suffering. We've been so polarized. God, we've been so polarized for some time now, and if anything good comes from all of this, I hope it's that we come together and we quit worrying about what color people are, what party they represent, what any of that is, and just take care of people, take care of each other. That's what we have to do right now. We have to quit squabbling. We have to quit worrying about anything else. We can come back to that later. We can come back to justice. We can work on other things at another time. But right now, we have to work on that. William Morgan, I'm going to ask you to get out of my chat, please, and don't be offering people readings during my show. That's extremely rude. I'm going to ask you to not do that now or ever, actually. Yeah. And if any of you would like to report William's account, you're more than welcome to. It looks like that's happening through my Facebook page, and we're not going to have that. I don't know why that's happening. That's happened a few times lately. Please know that the people that are doing that are scammers. This is not somebody who's got any kind of legitimacy, and they are certainly not endorsed by me in any way. And I will see if I can ban him from my page, but I'm not sure if I can while I'm on the show. Yeah, probably can't. Okay. But you're all welcome to tell him off if you would like to. Vindictive. I do not like that. I don't like that at all. I would just never want any of you guys to think that I am endorsing someone like that, because that is really, really not okay. Okay. I can delete the comment. I guess I'll just do that for now. All right. Well, let's not waste too much time on that. What a loser. Anyway, we'll move forward. So so that's what's in my heart, and that's why we will definitely have a healing circle today to see what we can do to help uh, with energy, because right now, honestly, I don't even think you could send something there if you wanted to. You can donate money to nonprofits that are helping the most vulnerable populations in these areas. Homeless people are literally freezing to death on the streets. And so donating money to organizations that are helping with that are definitely things we can do. And we can always send our best energy, but all the thoughts and prayers in the world sometimes don't make up for a lack of resources. So we need to be mindful on both angles of that, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm thinking about. Okay. All righty. Well, let's keep moving forward then. Let's talk about Luminous. Luminous, as you know, is a magazine that I publish on Tuesdays with the help of some of my friends. And I did share it in the chats here so that you guys can see it. If you would like to see Luminous, really all you have to do is head over to 12radio.com, or sorry, over to katie-weaver.com, and you can find that there under the Luminous Magazine tab. Last week, I got this idea that I wanted to change platforms and move Luminous to a different carrier. Right now, I publish it through a company called Lucid Press. And Lucid is great in some ways and has some drawbacks. And I spent, oh my Lord, I don't even want to tell you. I don't want to tell myself how many hours I spent working on developing a different platform. And at the end of the day, I just can't even freaking do it. I can't do it. I guess I'm going to stick with Lucid and make the best of it. And yeah, but yeah, last week I put a crazy amount of hours into redesigning Luminous, moving it somewhere else, and finally decided that I just don't know that it's better. I don't know. It is better. It is better. That's the problem. Yes, it is better and bigger and prettier and looks more like a magazine than just postcards. But I think it would take me months. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't. I don't know. What's wrong with me? Maybe I'll still do it. I don't know. Good God. But let's take a look at Luminous nonetheless. I absolutely love the cover this week. All the things, all the magical things, the well worn tarot cards, the candles, the spell bottles, the crystals. That looks a little like my desk, to be honest. It's not, but it could be. New art. I decided to go ahead and ditch the Valentine's Day theme since it's over. And to be honest, wow, a lot of you guys had a bad day on Valentine's Day. Just wow. It was a tough, tough day. I I just I don't know. It was the energy of the day. It was the day itself for some of you, but it sucked. I hope that you guys had a good Valentine's Day. Personally, it was fine, but for so many of you guys, man, it was a rough one. So, you know, goodbye, Valentine's Day. We'll usher you out the door and move forward to happier days because that was not one of them. Okay. But the new art is all moths, and it is so gorgeous, and I'm so in love with it. I can't even tell you how excited I am about it. All right, so I called the magazine this week the Call Your Neighbor edition for obvious reasons. That's a campaign that needs to catch a lot of steam. I'm seeing other people push it, and I think it's a really, really good one and important one right now. Call your neighbor, check on each other, really think about who is in your building, who is in your area, who's on your street that could be vulnerable, especially if you are in a place that's having these big storms or other hardships right now. Call your neighbor, knock on their door with a mask on. Check. If you were in the live stream and you'd like to go back to it, it will be a second video. And if you asked a question in the first one, I'm sorry, but you'll have to ask it again because I now won't be able to see it. So you'll have to come back to me. Sorry about that. Okay, taking a look at from the desk of bitch. Kelly says Saturn is up Uranus. She said, welcome to Maturity Central. I get it. She has a lot of good Uranus or Uranus jokes. I'm here for them. I'm that immature. I'm not going to deny it. She has great scopes this week, per normal. I love what she had to say. I just thought we'd read one. Oh, okay. So I just scrolled and I landed on Cancer. And I know that's very selfish because that's me, but I'm going to read it anyway. She said, believe and heal, bitch. Life is harsh and plain old hard sometimes, but do not give up hope for better things, both for yourself and for the community around you. But you have to see things clearly, the good, the bad, and the ugly. What habits do you have that may be holding you back from your best self? What energies from other people, jealousy, sabotage, etc., do you sense? End that shit right now. Acceptance and gratitude for what is right will now usher in unexpected blessings sooner than you think. Do not lose hope. Well, thanks, Cal. I love it. I'm here for it. Let's read Pisces too. She says, Pisces, protect what is yours, bitch. And that means your loved ones, your home, and your own energy. If something is draining you, step away from it. If you are hot, cool the hell down. If you are tired, sleep. If your children seem needy, hold them. If your house is messy, clean it. These are all activities of protecting and preserving what is ours in this weird life on earth. Also, don't forget about energy. Sage your home this week. Do a deep clean. Play some loud and joyful music. Cook some healthy food. Find joy in being in your beautiful home. I love that for Pisces. Very good. And I know that my Pisces, my daughter, I talked to her this morning, and she has built a bookshelf, a double bookshelf. It was really ambitious, and she did it herself. She borrowed tools from her brother and bought some of her own and had built a double bookshelf. It's not a bookshelf for her house. It's a plant stand because if anyone is more addicted to plants than Scott is, it's Matea. Anyway, I talked to her this morning and she was putting up the last layer of stain on her bookshelf so that she could bring it in the house and pile it up with plants. So I think she's feeling you. If you want to read your scope, come over to Luminous and find it. You can also find bitch scopes over on 12listen.com. You can also find them at kellymclean.blogspot.com. This is the bitch blog. and she has all of her stuff posted there as well. So if you want to read her work, and I know you do, that's where to do it. Okay, just double checking that the live stream is working out here. Okay, good, good, good. All right, that is so weird. I'm glad you guys came back. Tech, man, it's not feeling it. All right, my tip this week is my pain relief bath soak. For those of you that are getting hammered with cold right now that aren't used to it, it might be hurting your body. If you don't live in a really cold area, you might not understand or might not realize how much cold snaps bring out the aches and the pains. So I thought it might be a good time to pull out the pain relief bath soak. This is something that is very important for me. In a glass jar, combine 2 cups of sea salt, 10 drops of frankincense, 5 drops of peppermint, essential oils, of course, 5 drops of rosemary oil, 5 drops of eucalyptus oil. Shake well to distribute oils. Add a half a cup of bath salt to a warm bath. So that'll give you 4 baths, or more if you use it more sparingly, or less if you dump the whole thing in. I am not here to tell you what to do. But that's a really good bath soak to be able to soak away some of your pain. You can also substitute the sea salt for Epsom salts if you would like to. Epsom salts are also amazing for soaking away pain, especially muscle pain. So you decide, but that's a really quick and easy recipe. And frankincense, rosemary, peppermint, eucalyptus. If you do essential oils much, you probably have those. Those are pretty basic oils that most people have. So yeah, we'll roll with it. All right. Caroline's column. It's called How Can Zeolites Help Our Pets? Really interesting conversation about zeolites and how to help animals. Really good stuff and absolutely worth taking a look at. All righty. So the I'm really excited this week about my cases over at True Crime Paranormal with the Psychic Sisters. Christy and I have big cases breaking this week. I wanted to tell you a little bit about them. So on Monday, we covered Ferdinand de Mara. Ferdinand de Mara was an imposter, a professional imposter, if there is such a thing, here in the US. He was born in 1920, and then by 1935 he was off, or he was born around the 1928 era. At any rate, by what did we say? By about 1935, he was out pretending to be all kinds of things. In his lifetime, he pretended to be naval officers, military officers of a few different degrees. He impersonated a psychologist, a college professor, a surgeon that was doing surgery on people, a monk, and several other things. It is the wildest story of impersonations that I have ever heard. Anyway, that is a fun case. You can find all of our cases, by the way, over at One Two Listen, or I'm sorry, no, not One Two Listen. You can find them over at True Crime Paranormal on YouTube and also on pretty much any podcasting app if you want to listen to our cases. So the Ferdinand de Mera case was very interesting, but our case that broke this morning is the Elisa Lamb case. And if you guys are familiar at all with Elisa Lam, this happened back in 2016. This was a girl from Canada that came to Los Angeles to a hotel that's really well known to the Cecil Hotel, that's really well known, or also known as Hotel Death, for having so many deaths and issues. And it's right off of Skid Row, and it's a 700-room hotel. It's actually now closed, but this place is quite famous for having serial killers staying there and all kinds of crazy stuff. Anyway, in 2016, this girl was staying there and vanished and was found later on in the holding tanks on top of the building. Yeah, really gross. But anyway, there's some really weird elevator footage of her that has really made people wonder what in the world happened to her. So we covered the case. There was just a Netflix documentary last week that was released about her. So that's, created a lot of buzz about Elisa Lamb and what happened to her. So at any rate, if you are interested in that case, our take on what we think really happened to her is there. Yeah, just so much good stuff. So, anyway, if you're interested in our true crime paranormal work, that is where to find it. All right. That's probably all I have from Luminous. Well, actually, Anita chose this week for Anita and the Masters. She chose St. Anthony. St. Anthony was a Portuguese priest who belonged to the Franciscan order. He lived in Portugal and Italy in the 12th and 13th centuries. He devoted his life to helping the sick and the poor and to helping encourage more well-to-do people to help the sick and the poor. This was his life's work, and so Anita felt like this week calling on Saint Anthony to help the sick and the poor is probably one of the best things we can do in light of all of the suffering that we're seeing right now. So I agree wholeheartedly, and it's so read what she says about St. Anthony and learn how to call him in for yourself. He's also used by people to help find lost items. When I bought my house a few years later, the guy we bought it from, his wife or his sister, I'm sorry, knocked on the door and asked if she could dig up a spot on the side of my yard because apparently he also is supposed to be good for helping to sell your house. And they had buried a statue of St. Anthony in the yard. And now they felt like now that the house was sold, it was disrespectful to leave that there and they should dig it up. And I was fine with that. I didn't care if it stayed either, but they wanted to dig it up. So I said that was totally fine. They dug several holes and couldn't find it. So I don't know if he's out there somewhere. Hopefully, he's just continuing to bless the sick and the poor, I guess. But that always has cracked me up that they did that and that it's still out there somewhere. So, hello, Belle. So, anyway, that's those are the things in Luminous that jumped out for me. Hopefully, you find something there for you as well. And as always, I am always accepting submissions from readers. If you guys have something that you want to share, if you want to write an article or a blog, if you have a podcast or a blog you want to share with me, I would love to feature you here and there. I would absolutely be honored to put you in Luminous from time to time and feature what you're doing. This is, it's a fun magazine. It's important work, and I would just love to see you guys there. So, yes. All righty. Just taking a look at the chat room. So I didn't mention, but I should have. Today is the day that I read from all of the decks of my colleagues. So, yeah. So we're going to read today from Sweary Spirituality from Kelly McLean, both of her decks, the white cover and the black cover. I've got them all mixed together per her instructions. I have Mo Tarot from our very own Mo Abdelbaki. I have my deck, the Ground Bless, Protect, and Move deck from the Psychic Sisters. I have the Connecting to the Universe deck by Keisha Angel. Loving this deck by Keisha. All of the 12-month readings I did this year, I used this deck for the action card, and they were awesome. Absolutely loved it. I have my sister Christy's deck. You guys are all familiar with that one. And we have Angela Hartfield's Whispers from the Ocean deck. And by the way, I'm seeing that she has a brand new deck getting ready to come out. So I cannot wait to get my hands on it. She's got so much beautiful work out there. So lots and lots of good stuff happening. I'm excited for literally all of it. Okay. So if you want a reading today from those decks, the way I usually do that is I throw out I take a look and I'll decide from your question what decks to pull a card from and I'll read for you. So I would absolutely love to do that. My goodness, someone else in my chat trying to offer readings to other people. I cannot understand this. Who are these people? I guess I really need to quit letting it roll me. I just don't like it. Or maybe I need to make Scott or somebody an admin on this page so that they can go through and delete this stupid stuff. Maybe so. I don't like it. I don't like it because I would never want you guys to think that this was something that I was endorsing because I'm definitely not. Uh, did want to address Belle's comment. She said, I need to get your deck. Well, I will. I'm going to post a link in case you would like to pick it up. My deck comes from the playingcards.com company. I think that's who basically all of us have used. It's pretty cool actually. It's the first way that was really made available for just an average person, to publish your own deck. You can write your own ebook, you can publish it in lots of places. That's become really common and easy to do. But to do your own oracle cards is really hard to do. It used to be so cost prohibitive that you would basically have to create it and send it to a publisher and spend thousands of dollars to get them printed and then carry that inventory and try and sell it. It's just too much for most people. But now with this company's made it possible to be able to just publish your decks through them and they print on demand and it's much, much more feasible. So I just put a link in the chat room in case you guys are interested in purchasing my deck. You can also just go over to katie-weaver.com and you can find it over there too. So lots of ways to do that if you're interested. But anyway, so thanks for that comment. I appreciate it a lot. I appreciate you guys's. I don't even think that's proper. I appreciate your support. How's that? All right, link in the chat room for you just in case. The only drawback of that company is that you can't put a guidebook with your cards. You can put kind of a little brochure, but it's not very big. It doesn't really cover the whole cow. So the way we did ours, my sisters and I, is we also published an ebook. Well, you can order it as a print book too on Amazon so that you can order the handbook and also order the cards. And we kept the handbook as cheap as we possibly could so that you can get a hold of that to have some really good info about how to use your cards. So that's how we did it. All right. Just jumping into the chat room here really quick. All right. All right, so let's do this. Let's do our healing circle first, and then we will do some readings. So I am seeing your reading requests in the chat room, and I will gladly get to those. So that's what we are working on. Oh my goodness. My citrus trees in my office, I have a lime tree and a lemon tree, and they're blooming like crazy, and they smell amazing, and they're making me sneeze. So, yeah, so it's good and bad. We'll take it though. We will take it. Yeah. Oh, hello, Sharon. So she is snowbound in Texas. Yeah, you are one of those. Well, good news. We're going to do a healing circle today for all of you guys that are struggling. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of suffering across the country right now, and we don't like it. All right. So here we go. Oh, Mary says she tried to report the spammer, but it wouldn't let him. I deleted his comments and the other guy too, but what a waste of time. So frustrating. Okay, so let's start our healing circle. So all you guys have to do is just relax, close your eyes, breathe with me here, and just take a journey with me. So close your eyes and take a deep breath. Okay, I would like you to picture yourself walking along a path in a forest, in between the trees, winding through a beautiful, beautiful place. You can smell the pine trees. You can feel the pine needles crunching under your feet. It's warm but not hot. There's a faint breeze blowing. It's very comfortable. As you walk along this path, I am going to count backwards from 10 to 1. As I do so, I would like you to feel yourself getting deeper and deeper into your consciousness with every step you take. When I reach 1, you will step out into a clearing, a meadow, where others are gathering. We are meeting here to do important work together. You are feeling comfortable and confident about your ability to join this group, to walk along this path, and to share this experience with us. So, continuing to walk along the path, walking closer and closer to the meadow, starting with 10, 9, 8, walking, getting deeper and deeper into your consciousness with every step you take. 7, 6, 5, walking further and further. 4, 3, you can see the clearing now. You're getting much closer. You're comfortable and confident. You're feeling safe and able to enter this circle. 2, almost there. And 1, step into the circle now, very, very deep in your consciousness and able to enjoy this experience with others. Continue to walk forward now to the center of the clearing. There's grass and wildflowers. It is very inviting and comforting. And you're seeing many other people stepping off of their own path and into the meadow, meeting together. You'll see me there and other people, some that you know, some that you don't, some that your soul probably knows. And now, as we're gathering, I would like us to form a circle, taking each other by the hand. We're gathering together because there is a great amount of suffering on our planet for many reasons, for illness, for weather, for natural disasters, for grief, for division, for so many reasons. We're coming together today to lend our hearts, to send our very best intentions and energy into the ethers to help create a space of healing, a space of comfort, a space of safety. I would invite you to contribute to this circle in any way that you feel drawn. Some of you may pray. Some of you may send love from your heart. Some of you may practice an energy modality. It doesn't matter. Your intention is king. So I will leave you now to do your work, intending the very best for the planet of Earth and all of the people and beings living on it. There is so much power flowing through this group. Let it flow through you and beyond you. Very good. I would ask you now to finish up. Please know that you can come back to this place anytime you want for healing for yourself or a family member or the world, whatever your heart is drawn to. All you have to do is walk down the path. Say your goodbyes now. In just a moment, I'll be counting forward from 1 to 5. As I do so, you'll be walking back up the path from whence you came. When I start with 1, you will still be very, very deep in your consciousness. As you walk forward, you will get lighter and lighter, and by the time I reach 5, you will be wide awake, fully back to your waking consciousness. You'll remember all of the work we did here today. You'll remember how to come back. And you'll know that the power of groups, the power of our intention is making a difference. Go ahead and walk back to your opening now, to your path in the forest, starting with 1, stepping out onto the path, 2, getting lighter, 3, lighter still, 4, much, much lighter now, and 5, wide awake and refreshed. Okay, stretch. That's big out of body work. Sometimes that takes a minute to come back. All right. I'm going to drink a little bit of coffee because that helps me to ground. I highly recommend you do that too. Isn't this mug cute, by the way? My sister gave it to me for Valentine's Day. There were two. One said sweet and the other said sweetest. So naturally, Scott got sweet and I got sweetest. Okay. All righty. So there we go. Thank you guys so much for participating with me, for being a part of my circle and my world. And we will continue to send our very best of intentions and some financial help if we can, or resources to those that are suffering. Lots going on. Okay. So I think we are ready to start pulling some readings out of the chat room here. Oh, Thanks, Kelly. She said she was looking for the assholes in my chat and she couldn't find them. They were not in 1 2 Radio. They were on my Facebook page. Yeah. Thanks, though. You're the best. Okay. I like how I work with all these warriors, you know? We'll take it. All right, let's take a look. Rebecca said in Portland they had no power yesterday, but it's back today. That's good. And Kelly said California is clearly in their own country. It is spring there. So crazy. My son, his football team, they're trying to have a spring season because they didn't get a fall season and it's not really working out very well. Last week, a bunch of them had false positive COVID tests that shut the whole program down. And then they retested and everyone came back clean. It's been a mess. But anyway, now they have all of this snow. So they actually tried to shovel their field off so they could have practice yesterday. And they said 15 guys shoveled for 2 hours and cleared 20 yards. Yeah. Needless to say, practice did not happen. It sucks, but you know, it is what it is right now. All right, Laurie. Laurie says, I have been wanting to go get some medical attention for a couple of different issues, and I've been putting it off for the last year simply because of the way things are right now. I've been trying to calm and console myself by knowing that our spirit never leaves our body until absolutely ready. Any advice for me? I would appreciate any words of wisdom that you have. I want to pull a card for you, Laurie, but I want to read this for you as well. My gut feeling is that it's time to go to the doctor. It's okay. I feel like there is the timing is better now, and that you really do need to go and get some medical treatment. Not because I feel like there's anything horrific happening, but because I feel like your body needs that, your spirit needs that. I feel like you can comfortably go, that things are handled enough now that you can go and trust yourself and get the treatment that you need. I think it's really time for that. So big push there to just go ahead and do it. Uh, but let's pull a card for you as well. I'm going to pull a card out of Angie's deck, actually, out of Whispers from the Ocean. Okay. All right. Disengaged from outcomes. Oh, Laurie, this is an interesting card for you. It is killer whales, by the way. Just so you can open yourself up to the highest love that you deserve. Find ways to release worry or any unresolved lack of forgiveness you might be holding on to. I think that is excellent advice concerning this situation. Disengage from outcomes. The reason for medical care now is for comfort, is for peace of mind, and is because your body deserves that. But let's not worry too much about what the outcome may be or what the situation at hand is. Let's just take one tiny step at a time. Let's not eat an elephant in a day, right? But just take one step forward at a time to serve you the best. And if you need any, additional support with that, I'm absolutely here for it. Okay, let's see. Okay, Rebecca said, my aunt's new boyfriend is a complete asshole, and I would just love some validation that he is, since he's a complete asshole who gaslights like crazy. He's also an alcoholic. Oh, dear Rebecca, I am so sorry to hear that. I'm going to pull you a card from Swery Spirituality, but I'm going to validate for you that, yeah, it's a bad situation. I feel like she's not good at picking men. She has a bad history of letting men in her life that do just this, and she's got some real programming towards making excuses for people like this rather than holding them accountable. It is definitely a big challenge. And honestly, Rebecca, my gut feeling is that you're probably not going to get through to her, though I hope that you will. I feel like fighting with her on it will do nothing but very gently pointing out sometimes it breaks my heart to see someone talk to you like that. It really makes me sad to think that, that you would feel this way, that this is what's happening to you. I love you and value you a lot. And it hurts me a lot to see you being spoken to this way or treated this way. And you deserve better, not from a place of anger though, because that will shut her down in a heartbeat. Okay, the card says this is the worry and resisting joy card, which, a situation like this would certainly cause some worry and steal some joy. Excitement and nervousness are essentially the same energy with different anticipations. Are you confusing them? Okay. And in this case, definitely that nervousness for her. And also because you've been around the block with this. You've been with some narcissists and some gaslighters in your time. And I know that you're seeing this a lot. I'm sorry for that, Rebecca. Yeah, Rebecca, that sucks. Leslie said, beautiful experience. My palms are still pulsing and streaming with the energy. Yusui Reiki Master Practitioner. I just got a path correction. Makes so much sense that with giving we get and with getting we give. Oh, thank you so much, Leslie. I'm so happy that you're here and that you were a part of that group. That was a very powerful group, I thought. Okay, back into this chat. All right. Sarah said, can you ask my cat why she keeps peeing on my bed? Ugh, yikes. Not cool. Yeah, let's tune into her through you, Sarah. This is an absolute manipulation. It's behavioral. This has nothing to do with her physically. Two things. I would lock her out of your bedroom and not let her in there. That's the consequence I'm showing her, is that she doesn't get to come in your room anymore because we're not going to have this. It is behavioral. This is getting your attention. There's a real territorial thing with her. She's really, I don't want to say marking her territory. That's not really, I mean, she is doing that, but it's not really correct as to her intentions. She's doing this to show you that she has her ownership of you. The consequence I showed her is being scooted out and the door being shut. That she's not allowed in there anymore for a while until she stops doing it because it's not okay. All right, Kayla. Kayla said, I recently found out I was pregnant and I'm just wondering if you see it being successful and that I'll carry to full term. Kayla, congratulations. That is so exciting. Let's look into it. Okay. Yeah, you have got quite the bright light growing in there. This baby has been trying to come to you and waiting for you for a while. Uh, get really good medical care. And that's not a prediction of something going wrong. I don't see anything going wrong, but get really good medical care. Make sure that you are doing all of the things, and I know you will. But that's important because your body's really sensitive. And so we want to make sure that you and baby are cooperating really well. I feel like this is, I see this baby in your arms. I feel like this is going to happen. I'm going to tell you, I feel like this baby is going to have a very, very tender tummy. And once the baby's born, we're going to be wanting to talk a little bit about what's going on with that and how we can help and what to know. Because this is one of those babes that's going to be very sensitive to the energy in your home and to your energy. We're going to want to work on that later on. But for now, congratulations. Very, very exciting stuff. Okay. Oh, what am I doing? Not pulling cards. What did I say I was going to do? I'm going to pull you a card out of Keisha's deck. While I'm doing that, Shaylin, I'm going to run out of time, but I want to ask you, have you tried giving him caffeine in the mornings? Her son's having a lot of struggle in school and with life in general, I feel like he's having a really hard time slowing down. I just wonder if a little caffeine, not sugar, but just caffeine in the mornings before school would help draw him down a little bit and help him get through the day. If that sounds counterintuitive, it is. But ADD and ADHD kids, a lot of times, slow down with caffeine. So I would try that and see where he goes with that. If he's not getting some play therapy, I'm going to recommend that too. I feel like he's still grieving his dad. It's just still there. There's a lot of good things in your life, I know, and you guys have worked so hard for him, but there's still some grief in this boy that needs to continually to be worked out. So some play therapy would be amazing. And again, see what caffeine will do for him. All right. All right. So here we go. So here's the card for you, Kayla. Slow down, return your awareness to the present moment, and be conscious of every step you take. Live now. It's the practice mindfulness card. I think it's perfect for right now because in a pregnancy, it's so easy to jump to the next step and not enjoy where you are right now. And it's easy to worry yourself to pieces. So that's a good card for you, I think. I love that. Okay. Mary says, do you see me working anytime soon? You kind of. Yes, I do. Not in a traditional setting, but I do feel like there is some kind of work coming forward for you, Mary, in the next 2 or 3 months. Okay. Okay, JR says she's starting OA. Oh, started OA last week. You know, I feel like you're going to make some friends in there and learn some things about yourself that will really help you. Not so much about food per se, but about your relationship with yourself, that it is going to be helpful. I think you're going to have some really painful moments there of self awareness that kind of suck. So take a deep breath and buckle in. You're going to have work come up, that you have to deal with, particularly around your childhood and some of the treatment that you had as a kid. But I do think it's a good step forward and it's going to help you. Yep. Okay. Sarah said the ownership, this is the kitty peeing on the bed, makes sense. She always pees on my side and never on my husband's. Yeah. She's making a statement. Okay, really fast. Sharon says, wondering if there will ever be another best buddy or love connection at my age. Yes, there will. And he's about 10 years younger than you and will adore you to pieces. So don't give up on that. That is coming in for you. Not sure when exactly. COVID has kind of screwed up the timelines of everything. But yeah, Sharon, don't give up. That is still out there for you. Okay, guys, we've done what we do. We've talked down to the end of the show. I want to let you know that I am a professional psychic advisor over at one2listen.com, and you can find me over there every single day. I would love to work with you if you need some help. And of course, as always, please take care of yourselves. Please call your neighbor. Let's really, really amp up our care of others this week and next as well. And always, but you know what I mean. You've been listening to the Katie Weaver Show here on 1 2 Radio, where we're changing the way we listen to the world.